Hi, I'm Nikki.
I'm Matt.
And we're in Ehrenberg, Arizona, and this is our bus build. Welcome to the front of the bus. So this is our kind of living room and eating area and just general like hangout area. So on this side we have our dinette. So we have a live edge piece of wood as the tabletop and then 2 wood stools. The tabletop is on drop down brackets that can slide down, and then you can move the stools out of the way, and then you have all this floor space. So this is like the entry cubby, we call it. It's got access from the stairs for just 2 small cubbies that you can put you know, like a flashlight or sunscreen or stuff that you might be outside but you just need to grab. And it's on hinges because there's storage underneath. So we have like coasters in here, sunglasses, wallet, and then in further back we have our dustpan and some cleaning products that we keep in there. So this is the front area, and there's some storage here. Above the driver's door we have a bit of storage for, like, we have some books here, we've got headlamps here, sunscreen, some stuff for hiking, and then above the dash there's actually, this is a shuttle bus, and there's so much area up here. So we usually use it for like extra like towels, linens, extra blankets, some electronics, and any like seasonal clothes that we're not using. So this is our couch area. It's a pretty long couch. We wanted to make it big enough that somebody could sleep on it if we needed additional sleeping space. So it pulls out actually in a few different configurations. It's in 3 parts, and the left side slides out so it can be an L shape, the right slides out so it can be an L shape, or both, then it's a C-shaped couch, or all 3 of them can slide out, and these cushions come to the front, and then it's a bed. It also goes up because it's on hinges, and all of our electrical components are stored under there, and our batteries, stuff like that. So my husband's mom made the cushions for us. That's with 4-inch firm foam, and then that's covered in material. And then the curtains that we have that are all throughout the bus have Reflectix in them. My mom made them. And there's Reflectix inside, and material that's like an outdoor patio material, so that if it was getting wet constantly from condensation, I didn't know exactly, you know, I don't know what it would be up against, that it's not like molding, it's more hardy and able to withstand that. So they're just on like snaps, and then they roll down, fit like tightly in there, and then in the daytime we roll them back up. So we went with a cubic mini grizzly wood stove. We love the idea of heating the bus with wood. Obviously there's so many like less efficient ways that require your battery or a generator to heat your bus. So we went with the wood stove. And it's working really well. Like, for the amount of space that we have, it heats up the bus in a really short amount of time. So we're finding it really good. We also have a fan that we put on top, so it's just heat activated. So when there's heat, it spins and then it distributes the heat around the bus. But we find that it heats it really well. Probably the only negative is the pieces of wood that you put in there have to be 6 inches, which can be hard to source, 6-inch pieces of wood, or like chop them all up yourself. So we like cut a whole bunch and then we store them underneath where we keep wood under here and then kindling wood under there. And then we had to put heat shield around it, so that's what they recommend, and obviously that's the safe way to do it. So there's heat shield around the back with an airspace in behind. And then this is all non-combustible material too, so it's tile over cement board. The tiles actually were my husband's grandmother's tiles that she had collected from Mexico. So this is, we call it the cookie wall, because these are cookies cut out of wood. The bathroom is framed and then has plywood on it. So first I painted it just like this dark brown color that is kind of muted, because obviously you can see spaces between the wood. And then these are just sticks of, I think there's like some walnut in there, birch, there's ash in it. And I just used a miter saw and cut I don't know, maybe like ½ inch slices of the wood, and then used no more nails to glue it up. And it was really fun. I feel like everything else in this bus was like more of like a carpentry project, and this was more of like an art project. So it was a really nice change. So I probably saw on Instagram maybe to the other people that had done bus conversions were living like on the road and being able to travel, and so I like slowly convinced you that it was a good idea.
From my perspective, actually, we were supposed to get married in 2020, and that got pushed because of COVID, and then we were supposed to have a baby. She said we could either have a baby or we could get a bus. I said let's get a bus instead. And so,
but now we're getting all of them.
But now we're doing it all.
We're having a baby and we have a bus.
Yeah. She has always been interested in this sort of thing, and she's definitely more like outgoing and adventurous than like I am. So I usually end up just going along for the ride, which works out great for me. And she was talking about doing this, and we really had nothing on the go, and she kind of just said like, I want to buy this bus, I want to do this. And I don't know, I would never be the one to tell her not to do something she wanted to do, and fully knew that it would be like a large project. And you know, all credit to her, she did the majority of it. I had a relatively small like hand in it.
I actually got a membership in our town that we live in. It's called the London Community Woodshop, and so it's a place that you can pay a membership, and anyone who's a member there can go and use the tools. They have all the tools there, but it's also really good for like, you've got guys there that are working on countertops, or a lady who'll show you how to use the scroll saw, or there was a lady there who knew how to build kitchen cabinets, so could show me, you know, how you do that.
We're gonna have an arc welder that like.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I
right.
wanted to weld the rooftop deck and didn't know how to weld, and I had heard like that would be a difficult thing for me to just pick up a welder and learn how to weld. I was like, is this really true? So I asked the lady at the wood shop, I'm like, is that really true? Like, can somebody just show me and I can do it? And there's a guy there who has a welder, Steve, and he brought it, taught me for a day, and then I welded the rooftop deck.
In the parking lot.
Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, it might just be a slower like learning curve or a steeper learning curve, but you can figure it out and do it.
We're here in the living room. This is the couch with the seat cushions off. I'm sure Nikki's already kind of talked about it sliding in and out, all that sort of stuff. One thing probably didn't get to see with the cushions on were our seat belts. Safety first. So what we did was we bought these seat belts just off Amazon. In terms of securing them, we didn't know whether to put it into like the wood, put it just into the couch, but we wanted to be as safe as possible. So luckily with the shuttle bus, there's two things of unistrut that kind of run along the sides. And then everything else obviously under here is our solar setup. So first thing I want to give a big shout out to Nate from Explorers.life. He probably does not know who I am, but I certainly know who he is, and he pretty much, through all his free videos and content, helped us put this together. And after following everything he did when we turned it on, there was no sparks. So it was a good thing. We've got upstairs 400-watt panels. Renogy is the brand that we use because it seemed like a lot of people went with that. And then for all our components, we kind of did Victron for all our solar stuff, our distributor and our inverter charger, and then Battleborn lithium batteries too, because that's kind of what he was recommending at the time. So we've got 200 amp hours of batteries right there, lithium, obviously just kind of wired in parallel there. And then we've got our distributor coming off of that with like our main switch, a bunch of fuses there. We've got a multi-plus inverter charger, so a 2000 VA, 12 volt. And then we've got our charge controller as well, 130. And we've got our kind of distributor shut off there at the top too. Up in the front there is our distribution panel, so everything's kind of wired in there for our 12 volt stuff, and also the AC circuits are also wired in there with two 20 amp breakers. And again, that was all kind of products all recommended by Explorers.life, who's really kind of saved our butts when it came to this sort of stuff.
So we did an L-shaped kitchen with a live edge countertop. Most of our stuff is wood, so we've used wood like for the aesthetic and also like the ease of building. So we went with an L-shaped kitchen. We like to cook, and so I think the main reason was for having more counter space to work on, and also to make a separation between this like kitchen kind of bathroom area and really separate out the like social sitting area. Yeah, and we also felt like this walkway space was enough to be able to go. So we didn't really want to like leave more floor space. So yeah, we have 4 upper cabinets here. These 2 have plates, bowls, cups in them. And then the 2 outside ones have food storage and like extra things like a picnic, like tablecloth and reusable bags for the grocery store and more food in that one as well. So we got the live edge from a lumber guy who like specializes in live edge wood. And so this is poplar. We milled it down to 1 inch, mostly for weight. And then we used 3 different methods to glue it together. So there's dowels, there's biscuits, and then some areas are just glued and clamped. And it was hard to fit together, but once it all kind of fit together, and then we like screwed it through the bottom, yeah, with screws. So the sink is a copper sink. It's like 15 by 17 size, but it's a regular depth, like it's not a bar size. The size is working really well. All of our dishes can fit in there to wash. Underneath the sink, we keep our garbage can. We have a fire extinguisher in here. We have 2 fire extinguishers actually in the bus because the whole thing's wood. So we have one here and one at the back. We keep our pots and pans under there, our dish drying rack, our dish soap. And then on the other side, we have a Coleman grill. So that's what we use to cook. We use that, and we've got a propane tank as well. So we just take that out, set it up here, open the windows, and then use that. It's definitely a trade-off between like having the counter space versus building it in. We also wanted the flexibility of being able to take the grill outside and cook outside on a nice day. So that probably like leaned us toward doing it this way. But yeah, it is a trade-off. We've been in the bus for about 3 weeks now. And so I feel like that's one of the things that maybe in the future we would switch to having a permanent stovetop. So behind here we have our fridge. It's an Iceco fridge, and we used coffee bag like curtain to cover it in. So we lift that out of the way, and then it's on like a heavyweight, heavy duty drawer slide to come out, and a platform. We have it set to be fridge on one side and freezer on the other side. You can fit a lot in it. It's pretty deep, and it's also really efficient. It's working really well. We were kind of worried that it would drain our battery power rather, and it's not. It's taking up like very little, so it works really well. Yeah, we're nearly 8 months pregnant right now.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
Pretty close, yeah.
So we're close to having a baby. And obviously building this was with the idea for like us two to be able to use it, but also to be able to use it for a lot longer than that and have kids and a baby in the bus and be able to bring them for that lifestyle. Mm-hmm. I love the idea of like kids being able to have all this, like this is a tiny space, but they have all the outdoor space, and wherever you park, that's where they're playing and learning, and they're outside in nature all the time. They're not like sitting inside playing video games, they're outside. And we've met other people, a lot of other people that have kids and are having this lifestyle with kids in a bus. And I feel like they love it. Their kids look so happy. When you're at like a gathering with other buses, then those kids are all playing with each other. So there's like that social aspect. They're all playing outside. They're learning all the time because they're in different places all the time. I feel like that is such an enhanced like childhood for kids. For
sure. I think actually because a couple of people we spoke to said like the big thing is that they'll take the kids to the place that they're going and try to teach around that, right? And that's obviously a very unique thing that this sort of lifestyle like affords. And then once you get just sort of like the individual like family thing and you start combining that with other families, that it's a very unique sort of sense of community. And it really looked like, from what our limited kind of exposure has been here, I think you can really see these unique sort of family bonds that are kind of being developed between these big, you know, rigs that have, you know, a bunch of, I think we saw like 12 kids like all playing together and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden they set up like a lemonade stand or selling cookies and stuff like that. We're showing them in the middle of the desert, but they're like having a good time and learning, you know, a little bit about like, you know, community, learning a little bit about economics, all that sort of stuff. So it is really cool to see. And I totally agree. I don't think they look bored by any stretch of imagination.
So welcome to our bathroom. The first thing, I really love this about our bathroom. It's kind of an artistic piece. This is our like rolling barn door, and we had a friend build it. So I didn't make this, but our friend who like does art that looks like this, he usually does it to like cabinets and things. We asked him if he would make us a door for the bathroom. So we put a Nature's Head toilet in. It's vented through the floor, and we have the ratchet handle on it. So basically Nature's Head is a like diverter system. So you have liquids in the front and solids in the back, and people online always talk about how it doesn't smell, and it really doesn't smell. It doesn't smell so far. So yeah, it's working really well. It's like comfortable to use. It doesn't feel like we're sacrificing with our bathroom at all in that way. And then we also have a shower space. It's very small, and it's functional if you like need to have a shower, but the size of it's not super comfortable. So if I could go back, I would make it bigger. This is our bedroom area. The size of it is, it's just smaller than a queen bed. So we basically bought a queen mattress and then cut 3 inches off of it. And yeah, we oriented it this way. We built the bed to have, it's got a plywood platform with hinges down the middle. So both sides lift up, and then you can access garage space underneath. So obviously the far side you can only access and lift up from having a door open. But here there's holes that you can put your fingers in, and then you can lift up and get access to the stuff that's underneath. And having access to it from this side is great. There's been like so many times where we just need to like reach for something from in here and don't want to have to like go outside and unlock the door, and it's cold or raining or it's nighttime or something, and we can just lift it up and access it. So I'm really glad that it has like the hinge and you can get access to all of it from inside. There's one big drawer here underneath the bed. So we both share this. This is where we keep our clothes, and we use packing cubes to keep our clothes separate. And then the headboard also has storage in it. So this is like one plywood box basically with dividers in it. And then this is one person's cubby. So we kind of use it for like nightstand stuff. So personal toiletries, like your book, phone chargers and stuff are in there. That's the other person's. And then the middle one is communal. So under the bed is where we have our freshwater tank. It's a 63-gallon freshwater tank, and right beside the bed we have like a hatch, and that gives us access to see how full the hot water tank is. Also the pump is there and the accumulator. The on-demand hot water heater that we have is said to be like a vent-free water heater. So the box that it's built into has spaces between all the slats of wood so that it vents, but not outside. It just vents into this area, and that's more for like a heat thing. We also have a CO detector that's like right here, just across from it, and it has never gone off. So we feel safe with it. So we definitely we can't take credit that we built this whole thing by ourselves. There was lots of help from like friends and family. Matt's dad helped a ton.
Yep.
He would come for the weekend and help with some of the carpentry stuff. Matt's mom was really helpful. She was always cooking for us, which was really great.
Which is a big important part of the job.
Yeah, but also she made the cushions for it, the couch cushions for us. My mom made all these all the curtains that we have around, but there was lots of people that helped out. And then, like I mentioned, the London Community Wood Shop was so great. We met different people there, like Steve helped to weld. Ray was a guy who helped. He like offered so much time to help. It was so kind. And he would just like, cause you need a second set of hands often. And so he would help me. He'd be like out for hours and be helping me. Like it was amazing. And just like the knowledge sharing too from the people there, it was so great.
And the community, just like the friendship that it built out of it too, right?
Out of that, like that was a fantastic place. Yeah, with like Steve and Lori and everybody there. And then our Instagram is Living Our Best Lives, and that'll be linked down below, as well as a link to the guy who did our bathroom door, Stan at Rustics Design. So that'll be linked there too. Thanks so much for watching. Yeah.